What you got to do. Start the show off, Coco. I'm waiting on you.
Hey, y'all, what's up? Listen, how you doing? Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. We want to officially welcome you to the Lavish and Coco podcast, y'all. It is 12 noon. If you're on Eastern Standard Time, if you somewhere else, you might be on Greenwich Time or Pacific Time or Eastern Central Time or whatever. It's a lot of times. But right now, where we at, it's 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. It's Lavish and Coco. Good afternoon. Good morning. What up, though, Mr. Lavish?
What's happening, Coco? It's another week. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be on the show with you.
Oh, you so special.
Yeah, today we got a special guest in the house.
We got special guests.
You know, we got a special guest. And I'm going to let Coco, I want you to introduce her because she is in your line of work. She's in your field. So it'll only be right for me to have you introduce her.
Oh, okay. That means you don't know all the stuff that go with her introduction. That's what that means.
Now, I did my due diligence, but I'm going to let you introduce her.
You did some research? Okay,
I did some research.
So listen, we have actress, comedian, author, entrepreneur, and retired hood rat T BARB on the show and in the building today.
Woo,
That's what we got today.
Woo, woo. What up, though? Thank you, Coco, for that gracious introduction.
Thank you. T BARB look like she finna go out and perform on the Easter program. Be like, Jesus died.
I look like a little kid. So normally I am caked up because I am one of those makeup queens. But today I'm just out flowing, you know, looking like a kid, looking cute.
So let's talk
Black
about
girl magic.
Let's talk about that because, and I want to know. I gotta thank you, darling. Thank you so much. You mentioned the makeup, and which was something I was thinking about earlier because when we dress like this, we dress down. We got a little lip gloss on.
Yeah, popping.
But we got on hoodies, t-shirts, or whatever. Guys treat us different sometimes when we dress like this.
Yes.
And then when we put the glue and the stuff and all that stuff on, men treat us different. Do you think men are aware of, Lavish, don't look at me like that. You think men are aware of how they treat women based on how they dress? Because I don't even think they really aware of it. Because if you dress up because you could glam out.
Right.
You.
Yeah, I guess I do. I like to dress up a lot.
And guys be like, dang, T BARB, what you trying to do? Men think that when we dress up, we dressing up for them.
I mean, sometimes for them, sometimes for me. It just depends on the situation. Now, as far as being a comedian, I am all in. So I believe I should come to my shows dressed like a star because I'm a star.
Okay.
So, and I like to play dress up. And it gives me opportunity. Before I was a comedian, when I was a social worker, I didn't always have the opportunities. Okay. You know how sometimes you want to get glam,
absolutely,
but you don't want to be looking stupid. You backyard in the barbecue at your cousin's house in a full move something. You know, that's auntie word, move something.
Yeah, that's
in a full, you know, Lavish, you seen the move something, little fantasy boots for no reason. You like, come on. I went real auntie, didn't I? Little fantasy boots,
yeah.
Right? So I didn't always get the opportunity, you know, to really do that then, whereas now I feel like that, okay, people know when they look, they say, oh, she's a professional. Okay. She's here for a job. You know that I'm there to do something, do a service, and I feel like you should look away when people paying you to show up. You should look like somebody paid you to show be up. Here.
So it's interesting that you say that. When you see performer, I'm not going to even give it a gender, and they show up like, they just climbed out a tree.
Not a tree, but I gotta be a tree.
I'm going to be honest, it bothers me a little bit.
Okay.
It bothers me, like you put, and listen, being an entertainer, you can express yourself and dress however you want at the end of the day, but I think maybe it got something to do with me being black. Maybe it got something to do with me being raised. But you at least supposed to show up like you knew where you was going.
I think that I agree. I think that you are supposed to show, even because but you have to understand, every entertainer is a real person.
Yeah.
So if you wasn't polished and clean and together before, You know what I'm saying? You was a dust bucket before. You laid on the couch all day, little booty stinking. Before, don't think because this person is now a celebrity, like they do have pressure on them, but they still the same person that they were before.
Okay.
So I think we get talent sometimes confused with morality, confused with morals, because I think washing your ass is a part of the morals. You know what I'm saying? Making sure that you come outside. Am I lying?
Yeah.
Making sure that you come outside looking decent. Nevertheless, when you're standing in front of a crowd of people.
Yeah.
Well, me, I'm a work clothes type of dresser.
Okay, well, tell me about
That's it. I do dress up for whatever event that it is that I go to. So I do believe in
putting on
putting on clothes for that desired event. However, I'm so relaxed and comfortable in work clothes.
But that's what you do. What I'm saying is that's what you do.
But that's my job versus you being on the stage. So yeah, you being on the stage, people are looking for something more than just it's the whole presentation. It's the package. It's the package.
It sets a tone, I think, when you put a little effort into what you do. I just think that, and I might be a little old school, and sometimes when I have conversations with younger women, and they be like, Auntie, you know, I'm like, yeah, but can you wash your face?
Can you?
Can you just not get up and go to the gas station and get a roll for your
twerk,
bird?
but can't wash the face?
So let me ask you this. I want to speak on the ladies, on the females.
Okay. I hate when he say females.
Yeah, what you want me to say? What you want me to say? The hoes?
Ladies,
You
no.
The
so
broads?
you are so lavish.
What's up?
Lavish. You are so just
I'm saying
you Detroit to the core.
Detroit, Puritan Avenue all day.
Okay, you is so
Puritan Avenue,
that
PA
you
down.
don't
He's
beat
so
us
Puritan.
up. He's so Puritan. He beating us up, talking like, "What you want?"
So, yeah.
I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad.
I just wanted to relax.
Just
That's
relax.
okay, boo.
This what I want to ask y'all
You ain't towing
females.
No cars. We ain't
Not
mad
today.
at you.
Not today.
Okay.
You ain't repoing. You ain't doing none of that. You
Not
know what I'm
today.
saying? Our bills is paid.
But this is what I want to ask as women, and we talking about dressing. In general, when females, ladies, when they go out, even though it might be a quick run to the gas station, grocery store, what do you think about women that's leaving out the house nowadays, pretty much going everywhere in pajamas and house shoes?
Wait, we had the same look on our face. Oh,
I mean, because you see it every morning. You know,
we see men
you know,
like that.
so men are starting, and I see that they're wearing pajama pants, going to the grocery store. What do you think about it? Do you think it's acceptable now? It's just,
you know what? I'll say this. So when I have this response, I feel passive aggressive, and I'm going to tell you why. Especially being from Joy Road, raised the way I was. When I was growing up, I think we was that first generation that messed up this next generation, because we was that first generation of crack babies, right?
Okay.
So that first generation of crack babies, maybe they had the couches on the lawns and 40-ounce beers. Remember, we was from the St. Ives. Remember Snoop Dogg singing with Nate Dogg? St. Ives. We was on that, right? So we had these kids. So some of us separated and said, you know what, Black Queen and King, we gonna start this way. The rest of us was like, St. Ives, and what's the next one? Cisco, and what's the next one? Hennessy.
Yeah.
So we start having these kids and getting high and getting drunk, and now we're dealing with their descendants. So sometimes I'm like, is it that I'm not hood anymore? And this is my honest opinion. Like sometimes I say, well, am I not hood anymore where I don't appreciate the bonnets? And because back in the day, remember Asleep? Do you remember the Asleep pajamas?
The what?
Okay, we used to wear these pajamas called Asleep. Remember the girls used to have the baseball jerseys with the little shorts?
Yeah.
Those was
like
really
a baby
pajamas.
doll. We used to call them like baby dolls.
Right. So we used to go in our pajamas and scarves. We didn't wear bonnets. We had the Tupac scarf on.
I remember that.
So is it that I'm old and I'm out of touch with being a teenager, or do I have a little bit of class now?
Yeah.
Or what? But I can't do it.
It's for me. It's like I was raised when you get up in the morning, take all that off,
and get dressed,
wash your ass, I said I was gonna quit cussing. I owe you $1, Lavish.
Oh, it's no cussing on this?
No,
For me,
be yourself.
For me.
Oh, okay.
It's
Coco
no
has
cuss.
she has a problem.
I have a cussing problem.
She has a cussing problem.
I do have a
she's
cussing
trying
problem.
to channel it down a little bit.
Yeah, I am.
She's trying to become a better public
Shit.
speaker.
That's $2
out here.
So for me, I was raised in get up, wash your tail, bathe, brush your teeth before you go out in the world. So when I see somebody out in their pajamas, and you know Monique had the big controversy going, when I see somebody out in their pajamas, do you have pajamas that you gonna change off of them pajamas into clean pajamas, or did your funky Ready Rose ass? Damn, that's $3, $4.
Okay.
Fix it. Did you get out the bed with them funky pajamas on, go out into the world, take your kids to school, do what you got to do all day, and you kept them same pajamas on and introduced that outside dirt to your bed? My grandmother wouldn't let you wear, and my mom wouldn't let you wear outside clothes on your bed. She'd be like, don't sit on my couch with your outside clothes on. And I do know that outside have a smell to you. You smell like outside. You really smell like dirty sugar.
Dirty sugar.
Yeah, they got, but they wearing this every day as regular clothes.
Yeah,
though.
okay, so listen.
Every day.
I got a question, because we've been real nice and intellectual. We finna get funky.
Yeah,
So
let's
listen,
get funky with it.
You listen to Lavish and Coco. We need y'all to, and our special guest today is T BARB. It's the Lavish and Coco podcast. Every Tuesday, 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. We need y'all to like it and share it, and like it and share it, because this is a very interesting relationship. As Brother Lavish put it, we serious and funny. I don't know, you know, he cussed me out earlier, but it's okay. We gonna get
Serious
past that.
and funny.
Be serious and funny. So I want to get to, and I need everybody to like and share this, because I have so much love for T BARB. I do.
Aww.
Just as a woman and a sister and a mother and all of those things.
Thank you, Coco.
So I do.
Oh, I love you, Coco.
I love you too.
I do. I really do. And not to cut you off, but even from the beginning of my career, I just want to say this, and I always say this, but I believe that we can continuously give flowers.
All the
and
time.
in today's world, kind of like almost with the pajamas, people are afraid to continuously praise. So what if I praised you last time I seen you? If this time I want to give you a thanks again, I should be able to do that.
Absolutely.
And when I first started, comedy is hard to break into. Detroit is tough. Like, you know, Detroit is rough. I'm rough. So it's one of those things where when I broke in, Coco was like, yeah, you can do it. And we did a show.
We did.
Remember
We did.
at the Post Bar.
Ooh.
With Diesel and
Oh my
they were
gosh.
doing some stuff back then. And remember you and I did show, and I was kind of new, and you embraced me, and it was just like, I loved it. So thank you so much, Coco, for being a leader.
Thank you.
Because some
Thank you.
people don't like new people coming in. Coco
Okay.
embraces us, gives us the game.
I welcome. I know that at some point, and when I say this, people are like, oh, don't say that. I know at some point I'm going to retire. My goal is to sit on a few acres of land with a double wide trailer with about 3 dogs, 15 chickens, 2 or 3 goats, and be able to moon bathe in my backyard with my husband naked. Lord, I'm still.
I was
claiming-
gonna ask that. I was gonna ask where you're gonna be naked.
Absolutely. I love being naked.
I know it.
I love my body. I love my stretch marks. I love my surgery scars. Sometimes I just sit in the shower with soapy hands and rub myself. I love.
Where you rub
me.
yourself, Coco?
All over.
All over.
This is
All
turning.
over.
This is turning.
No, I just because we
know.
gotta ask because we keep it real.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
I
I love
just
it.
you know
I-
you love it. Okay.
You have to. Okay, so I'm finna go spiritual. Now I'm gonna come back. You know, the Bible says that you have to love your neighbor as yourself. But if you don't love yourself, you can't extend that to anybody else. Even when you're on an airplane, it said if the cabin pressure changes, adjust your mask and your oxygen before you get to somebody else.
Okay.
So if I don't love me, if I don't embrace me, I can't expect people to do it. I can't expect a man to say, "Ooh, I want to be your husband," and I don't feel good about who I am.
Amen.
Church, yeah.
That's the organ.
You gotta get the organ sound effects. So here's my question, and I want y'all to really pay attention to this. So I need y'all to like this and share this, because this is really, really deep for me. Why do you call yourself the retired hood rat?
Okay, well, that's a good question. That's a good question. So first off, I was born and raised on Joy Road in Wyoming. I actually grew up on Indiana.
Tell the people that don't know about Joy Road. Tell them about Joy Road.
Is it's a special place. But I was raised against the odds. So I call myself the retired hood rat because my parents met fresh out of prison. They met in a prison vocational program for mechanical purposes. My mom got pregnant with me, so basically I had that mixture of parenting, raised around a lot of mental health, and my mother had some drug issues and stuff like that she really fought through. And I went to college on my own, so I was raised in gangs, fighting. You know, I did well in school, though. I was fortunate enough to go to some enrichment programs and to really like school or academics. And, you know, my father was he still was a ghetto intellectual, even, you know, regardless to
what does that mean?
Affliction. That means you know that one that's that drug dealer.
He was just still out there.
That knows a little bit, but still smart. You know, he was in the joint reading.
Okay.
You know, he know the Bible. Went to private school. Grandma put him through, but he still chose a life of crime. You know, look good, doing it to the guards. You know, one of them.
Okay.
Always been a whole different girls braid my hair every week. You know.
You said different women braid your
You
hair.
know it. My daddy kept him one on deck. I kept some little beads. I was fresh.
Okay.
All the time. Kept a little beaded dude.
So listening to that, as you just said that, you got a story though.
Yeah, and I went to college on my own, and I got an MBA. I went in and I was a social worker for 14 years, and I do a lot of stuff, and I quit to do comedy now. So I feel like it's embodying my past while also representing where I'm going. You know, relapse is part of recovery. It doesn't mean that you were a slut or you, even though I think all women have been a slut at one point in their life, and if they haven't, then praise them.
If they ain't been one with their body, they've been one in their mind.
In their mind. So I just feel like that's a part of me saying, okay, this is where I come from, this is where I'm going, and bada bam, bada boom.
Now, were you self-taught? Were you motivated, or did you have someone special in your life that pushed you to do a lot of the goals that you accomplished?
I definitely did. So I had a sister. So I have a sister that's 16 years older than me. Her name is Mary. Very influential in my life, still influential in my life. And she played the role of older sister well. I also was a daddy's girl. So regardless to that, I had my father. My mother, like I said, she suffered from a lot of mentally ill issues and stuff like that. But my father was there. Okay. But he had some issues, but he was still there. That's why it's important. I tell people, no matter what the parents going through, kids need their parents, and there's still value in what they have to offer. So my father was definitely there for me, and I was a daddy's girl. And I had teachers, and I went to a program at Cranbrook.
Right.
Okay.
I did, you know, and that helped me a lot. And I think that you have to put yourself around the people that you want to be.
Yeah.
That'll help you. Once you start going to certain things and you're like, this is what I want, regardless to what you were taught, just like with comedy. Yeah. I immersed myself in it. And then I learned from the best because I want to be around the best. How did
you get into comedy? Like, what made you want to start comedy? Were you funny as a child?
Yeah, because either if you teasing me, either I'm going to whoop your ass or we going to laugh together. You ain't got shit to say about my mama on the floor, bitch. What you say? Okay. Let's laugh at it. Roaches, let's talk about somebody else's mama or I'm going to smack you. So that's what happened.
You was a capper, huh?
It was my conflict resolution.
Okay, I like that. I like that. Because I don't think people understand that comedy is born from pain.
Absolutely.
Even when you see extremely great comedians, when you talk about the Richard Pryors and the Dick Gregorys and all of those people, the backstory is painful, and people don't understand comedy comes from a place of pain, and the more pain that you experience in your life, sometimes that's the thing that propels you forward. It's like, oh my goodness, because as a female, as a woman, I picked that word up from Lavish. As a
there
woman,
you go. You're learning. I'm a teacher.
I like it.
I'm a teacher.
No,
I'm a teacher.
No, you can't say female.
No,
I don't want you to say that.
What should I say?
Ladies.
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 And you,
Okay.
female to me sound like
Let's
you
hear it.
identifying animals.
Do
Male
you
and
have
female.
sisters?
I'm my only child.
Oh, okay, yeah. Explains a lot. And when is your birthday?
I'm a Virgo.
Oh, okay. Let's go
Yeah.
back. Coco, what was you
Yeah.
saying?
I ain't really into signs, but I do
Yeah,
know
I'm
some people.
I'm a Virgo.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, that means I'm a hell of a person.
Okay, yeah.
And you agree, don't you?
I do.
But the way he grabbed you, like you
I'm
didn't have
under
a
duress.
choice.
I have to.
So I think as being a woman, and when you're a comedian and you're a woman, see, and I'm not gonna make it necessarily gender, but I am. Men get a pass on everything. Y'all get a pass. Y'all get a pass on a. Y'all get a pass.
I want to hear the passes.
Let me
carry on.
let me say this.
I want to hear this.
Women have been positioned either by society or whatever. We have been positioned that we must endure. So when I hear people talking about, oh, you're a strong, independent woman, bitch, I don't want to be. I want to go home and get into my Alaskan king size bed and look through my skyline and be very, very exquisite in how I live. But the world says, as a woman, you must endure, and the more you endure, the greater it makes you a woman. If you honestly have an honest conversation with a woman, women don't want to do that. We do it because we have to. So as a woman and being a comedian, it's like we got to endure everything. We don't get a pause. We don't get, if we got cramps, we still got to perform. We done had a miscarriage, we still got to perform.
Dang, okay.
We done had a whole fight. We done had a whole fight with our man in the car. We still got to go on stage and be funny. We got to be funny. It don't matter. We could be totally broke down in the green room, but we got to go on stage and be funny. It's not fair, but we wear that. I'm tired. I just had to get that out of my system.
Okay, listen.
Let's talk about your CD release. Let's talk about your song.
Okay, it's a couple things. Yes,
Go
absolutely.
ahead. This
absolutely.
your show. We
Thank
just the
you.
host. Lavish and Coco. We doing this podcast every Tuesday at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. Our guest today is T Barb, and we talking about everything. This is we gonna get to all the stuff, and we know y'all got questions. Tap in, because Lavish the only one that got a computer for real.
Yeah,
So
we
tap
got some
in and
questions.
ask your
We're gonna talk.
questions. Ask the questions, because we gonna get to her CD release. She got a CD coming
I got
out.
a CD. I got a comedy night y'all need to pull up to
Yeah.
tomorrow. CD release next Monday. I mean, single release. That's she got me saying the auntie word. CD.
Okay.
Single release coming up, and yeah, I got a lot. Shout
Yeah,
out to
she got
everybody
a
on
lot.
TikTok.
So what's one of the questions you got, Lavish? I
No,
know
so right now, what we got going on, we just got a lot of people that just made a lot of statements, not necessarily no questions.
Okay.
But we got Rocky. She's like, salute T
Hey,
Barb.
What's up, Rocky?
Yeah.
We love Rocky.
I used to work with Rocky.
We love her. We love all the women that are doing the thing.
She has a nice podcast, and I used to work with Rocky.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We salute
Shout out
all
to the
the
state
women.
of Michigan.
Absolutely. Listen, the state of Michigan ain't no joke. So let's talk about your single release that you have coming out. What is the name of it, ma'am?
Okay, so I actually have a comedy album coming out called T Barb Live at the Independent. It's gonna be on Tidal, Spotify,
Okay,
TikTok,
okay.
all places you can listen to music. With that, I have a new comedy single. Okay, so I have my stand-up comedy album, T Barb Live at the Independent, coming out Monday, October 24th. But with that, I have Scoochie on the Coochie.
Oh, what's
You
the
said
name of
say
it?
that again.
Scoochie on the Coochie.
Scoochie
which is a
on the
female
Coochie.
empowerment song. It comes with the dance and everything, and it's gonna be coming out. So I have a free album release party this Thursday at the Independent Comedy Club. Okay, you can register on Eventbrite. It's just premiering the video. We'll be playing it at 8:30 sharp. My new video by Lockstar Productions. He shot the video. Aria Moody helped direct the
Okay.
video. A lot of the Detroit comedians. We got Ronnie Chanel in it, Ree Landbetter, Joe Isom, just a mixture of, and some more comedians. Nephew from Detroit came out, and Scoochie on the Coochie. So my new music video and a comedy album and single coming out.
Lavish looking. You want to ask her what is Scoochie on the Coochie?
Hey,
Go ahead.
I'm just-
Lavish. T Barb, I love it because this is the first time
Let's
that
hear
I've
this.
seen him blush.
Blush.
He blushing.
He blushing.
Come on, you got too much
Look at it.
attention on
Look at
me.
it. Look
Look at his dimples. Look at his dimples. Look at his dimples.
Girl, go ahead.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Look at your dimples. Where you going? Look at your dimples.
Go ahead.
It's okay.
Y'all
Yeah.
see? Do y'all see him?
Yeah, he is.
Oh,
You gotta come
man.
once a
He
month,
got some
baby.
dimples. Yes. You gotta come out to the show tomorrow. Let me make you laugh.
You want to make me laugh?
Yes.
I want you to make me. I need to
Tomorrow,
laugh.
October 19th. It's right inside of the Detroit House Comedy. So I have two things going.
Okay.
Wednesday, which is tomorrow, October 19th, I have T BARB and Friends. Coco did the show last month. Amazing show. My showcase
Thank you.
monthly.
Yes.
So that's tomorrow, October 19th at 7:30. It's at the Detroit House of Comedy, which is inside of Hockey Town, next door to the Fox Theater. So Detroit House of Comedy, for your audience only, if they use the code TBARB8, TBARB, that's my name, 8. They'll get $8 off the tickets. Okay, so $25 flat. Come on in the building.
Okay.
T BARB and Friends, come see me live, do some comedy. Ronnie Chanel, Stromae,
Wow, okay,
Jerry
okay.
Donovan's gonna be hilarious show. $100 to the best costume.
Oh,
So I don't know if
okay.
anybody's gonna dress up. My sister thinks she gonna win because she says she the only one dressing up.
Okay.
So
okay.
if you come, you can win that $100. You're gonna see an amazing show, game show
Absolutely.
in the show, ghetto prices right. You want to be in the building. T BARB and Friends tomorrow night, and then after that, the next day, Thursday.
Absolutely.
What you got?
October 20th is the free album release party. So that's free. It's not a comedy show, but you can come preview my new video. Here's some clips from my album. We're going to have giveaways.
Oh, okay,
And it's
okay.
just, we'll have some Scoochie on the Coochie stuff, so you'll get to preview the song first. It doesn't come out till Monday, so you'll get to hear the song first and just be in the building.
So first of all,
And my girl Carol Brown said she presently lives in the South. She's from the D and she loves some cocoa.
I love you, Carol. Hey, Carol. Listen, make sure you follow us on all the platforms. Lavish and Coco, T BARB. Make sure you follow us. And I know y'all wondering where we at today. We are really doing the show inside of a car wash because we show up where we glow up. You understand what I'm saying?
That's right. That's
The
right.
glow
My
up
car
is
needs
at
to
the
be
car
washed.
wash.
Yo, Carwood, let's bring it up in here. Let's wash it. That's what we do here.
Okay, yeah.
My car
Shoot.
needs to be washed.
That's
It
what
do.
that's what we do here
Get
at
you the
Lavish
best.
Car Wash.
So Lavish, you want to
Yeah.
ask T BARB what do Scoochie on the coochie
Yeah,
mean?
so
Look at-
listen.
Look.
He said
I
earlier about
definitely
that
want
Coochie on the Coochie.
So what is Scoochie on the Coochie? Let's talk about the
It's
Coochie.
a female empowerment anthem,
Okay.
okay? And what it is about the reality that sometimes men may ask you something sexually that's not available to be done. So, for instance, it comes from a joke that's on the comedy album, the T BARB
Okay.
Live at the Independent. So, one of my jokes is about Scoochie on the Coochie, meaning that some men ask you to ride it, but it's not rideable. So, if it's not rideable and I can't go up and down, it don't mean it's not for you. That don't mean you're not sexy. We don't like you. Just ask if we gonna Scoochie.
It just
Okay?
ain't-
Don't ride it. I can't ride it because it won't glide inside. I got a Scoochie on the Coochie.
A little.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm a small woman. So, you know, when
Does the size matter?
yes and no. Once it's over a certain size, it doesn't. But under a certain size, it does.
Okay.
So that's just like this, right? They say, does money bring happiness, right? I say no if you make over a certain amount. So if you have enough money to eat, pay all your bills, have transportation, and for all your basic needs to be met, the rest of the happiness is based on you intrinsically doing things that make you happy. Other than that, money does make a difference. Because if you're sleeping under a bridge,
Yeah.
or you
Yeah.
have nothing to eat, so it's the same thing with size. If it's just too small,
What
gonna have to wear a
what's
strap-on.
what's so let me ask you this.
I love me a good man.
Let me ask you this.
Okay.
What was a small experience for you?
Damn. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just kind of curious.
I just
please elaborate.
I'm the auntie over here, but when men
am-
ask that, it's something behind. It's a part B to it.
No, I just want to know, is Scoochie on the Coochie? So I want to know.
I haven't had. I'm just talking about my sister's experiences. I haven't had sex in so long. I don't remember my last experience.
I'm there too.
You
T.
ain't had sex in so
I'm
long.
there too.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, no, so
Yeah.
long. Huh?
Why do men have a problem
Okay.
believing when a woman says, "Let me equate
I
this
just
to something.
I'm just saying. Okay, that's what you
From the
said.
He's sounding very like he's
Defensive.
very right. Like,
Yeah.
you don't even know me,
If
man.
that's
Why
what
you
y'all,
doing
if that's
that?
what y'all say, I'm just
Wait a
agreeing
minute,
with y'all.
hold on,
If that's
listen,
what you say,
listen.
that's what you say.
We want y'all to believe that we haven't had sex because we haven't. If I was doing it every day to somebody different, that's my business.
Right.
And if I ain't did it since 2017, that's still my business.
I haven't had sex.
Hold
in
on,
quite some time.
but this-
I was telling T Bar.
I
was telling
this the
T-Bar,
same
so
question
I haven't
as
I haven't had sex in.
I don't
Ask-
believe.
No,
it.
I haven't had.
he
T-Bar.
can't. Wait,
I
every
haven't
time
had
he
sex
said
in a
that,
long
I
time.
jump. Yo, I jump.
Yeah, I'm saying. I'm just letting you know.
Last
I
week it was some
haven't
girls
had
twerking in the
sex.
background of the show. It's like,
So we can
Yeah.
say we ain't had sex. Just
I'm celibate.
Like y'all say,
Me
y'all don't
too.
have
Me
no
too.
money.
I'm celibate
So
as
high
well.
five on that. We,
All right.
we
That's
both,
a lot. Look
we
at this
both
lie.
we gotta
celibate.
get us some what they
We
call some
got-
purity rings.
Yeah, that's what we gotta do.
Okay.
Yeah.
That-
Coco, you all right?
I listen
Ice
to
my
the lie.
purity ring out. You know my purity.
Yeah, pull it out.
Yeah.
So let me say this: a woman saying she ain't had sex, it's the same thing as when a man say he don't have no money. Nah, we can't prove that y'all got money, and you can't prove that we ain't had no sex. Look at that look.
Yeah, 'cause I ain't
next
got no
question.
money.
I know you don't.
I'm poor and broke.
You need to quit speaking that over yourself in
I'm
real
just
life.
saying,
Stop speaking that over
don't
yourself.
speak that.
I'm trying to make money.
I know, but
It takes money to make money.
speak that it's coming. Don't speak
It's
that
coming.
you poor and broke.
It's coming.
Yeah. Okay. So listen, my next question. T Barb is in the building. So listen, next.
We
Sunday,
got someone. We got D La Wee who said too small is when you're wondering if it's in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It is, or it's smushy, and it can be smushy.
That is. It's like Jello. So anyway, listen, we got a pop-up shop this Sunday at the Knights of Columbus in Warren, Michigan on Mound Road. It's from 1 to 6 p.m. Vendors are wanted, and they still got vendor space available. Lavish is going to put that in our comments, but it's a pop-up shop at Knights of Columbus on Mound Road. It's from 1 to 6 p.m. So he going to type that up and put it in our comments so you could go out there and check it out. They still got vendor space available. And I like pop-up shops because you in an area and everything you need is right there. You could get everything from wigs to purpose and all that stuff. You mean you didn't get your text message on your elaborate phone, Mr.
No,
Lavish?
I didn't get it.
Okay, well, take my phone, Mr. Lavish, and look at it right there. Would you slide that to that man right there?
Let me side that to him.
Slide that to
You
him right
see
there.
it?
Yeah, he see it. So my next question to you, T, is so when you decided to get in comedy,
Okay.
what made you say I'm jumping all the way in? Because let's start with how you got in college, because you literally was like, I'm going to college.
Yes. So the way I went to college is actually, and I'm so sorry, it's my PR person got some good news. So the way I went to college is interesting, right? It's a twofold thing. And it was one of those things, like sometimes in life you have make or break periods. Like you may have something that may happen that you feel like either can break you or it's gonna make for a hell of a story.
Right.
So at the time, my father had already had 2 kidney transplants. He was having an open heart surgery. I was beefing with some girls in my neighborhood to the point where I had, like, they tried to jump me in my prom dress and all this stuff.
Wait,
Wow.
oh no.
No, for real. Because I used to fight all the time.
You're not going to say
So-
somebody tried to jump you and you were on your way. Were you on your way to the prom?
Yeah, I was on my way to pick up my homegirl so we can go to prom.
Let's talk about this fight. Let's talk about
Well,
that.
it didn't happen. So what happened was I had ended up running because I had the dress on. And at that time,
Did you
this
have
is
on
so
heels?
sad. Let me tell you what's so sad. It was the psychological
You up here
stress for me.
laughing.
No, for real. It was the psychological stress for me at that time of running and not fighting. But I had on a dress, and I'm a smart fighter. I knew there's no way with this ball gown on, I'm going to be able to really hang with them, so I have to retreat, plus my prom thing. So that was going on. So I was beefing, that was going on. And then when my dad was having health problems, I was helping with the kids because their mom kind of had left my brother and sister with my dad. So it was so much pressure on me. And I told you I went to Cranbrook. They paid for one college housing application. And I happened to get into 2 schools. I got into Tennessee State and Dillard University.
Okay, HBCU.
Never had been to either one, but I applied. My homegirls applying. That's why I say you have to have somebody around you that's like
Accountability.
they're
partner,
doing
absolutely.
something, and so they kind of encourage you to do something. And when that happened, it was maybe like 3 weeks before you were supposed to be there, because in college and down south they start school early. So here we start after Labor Day. There they start like in the beginning of August, and then when you were a freshman, you had to be there like 2 weeks before everybody else. So then I just was like, I'm leaving. And I told my dad and I told my mom, and they were like, well, how, we don't have the means really. And my goddad was driving to Memphis, and he drove me to Memphis. I took a Greyhound bus from Memphis to Dillard, and that's how I ended up in college.
Wow. Well, how much money did you have on you when you left?
About $400.
Wow.
Yeah, but I didn't have any sheets, and like my family took up a collection and stuff. I have a really good family, but my mother was raised in foster care.
Okay.
So that's where the disconnect, like my aunties and uncles are there for sure, but they were all raised so differently. My grandmother went to a mental health institution when my mother was 2. So I never seen my grandmother outside of that institution. And so they chipped in some money. I mean, they really helped, but $400 really ain't. When you, you got to buy the ticket, get down there. Then I need a sheet set. I thought they was going to give me some sheets. I got there like, what a sheet set? They're like, boo, that's on the list. I'm like, I ain't even get the list. I was praying that my name's on there. Then I was in the line so ghetto. I kept going out for cigarette breaks. Like, I don't smoke cigarettes now, but I was like, excuse me. And they like, well, your mama and them, man. I'm like, can you watch this book bag? I got to go smoke a cigarette. And they looking at me. Because at the time, I'm grown. Like, I don't know kids who act like they 18 for real. It's grown. Like, I watch this while I go get some coffee and smoke the cigarette, and I'm going to come back.
Get some coffee and smoke a cigarette.
They looking like, you a kid. You ain't supposed to be smoking no cigarette. I'm out there with somebody granddad. Like, got a light. But it was cool. It worked out for the best, but it was rough. I walked to Family Dollar. I'll never forget with a buggy. And New Orleans is hot.
Oh, yeah.
I had never been there. I instantly started sweating puddles.
Yes.
I caught a cab to the school. I was ready to choke them in case we didn't go to the right location. It was palm trees.
And let's talk about the choking. Let's talk about no, we gonna talk about the whole choking thing because and I'm wait to brother Lavish. Let's talk about the choking thing because your father had taught you that, and we listen. Some of the stuff we say we don't want y'all to try. We Lavish and Coco do not condone violence in any kind. Let's just say that. But so you was prepared to choke the cab driver.
Yes.
And your father had taught you to do what in case you had to choke somebody?
Choking thing
Because your father had taught you. Lavish, what you doing? Hit the volume. Cut that phone down. We Lavish and Coco do not condone violence in any kind. No, we here say that. It's
okay. And so what you was?
Yeah, you just keep talking.
No, we can't though. So Lavish, listen, me and Lavish, we gonna get along. I love him so much. He like the nephew son. That,
nephew son.
I would have let his father raise. But anyway, let's talk about you in this choking situation.
No, it won't choking situation. What it is
what did
I
your
think
father
that
tell you?
my mother.
Your mother.
So it's like different foundations. So let me give you a contrast. Like my mother was very street, very hood.
Okay.
She did 2 bids in prison. She was a fighter, that type of thing. Whereas my father was more of a ghetto intellectual. He went to DePorres. He was in the army, that type of thing. So, but my mother would teach me life hacks, like how to choke people. You know what I'm saying? To stay safe.
Yeah, you said that's a life hack.
Yeah, she kept getting jumped in prison so much. She was worried about somebody like physically hurting me. So she started teaching me how to fight from an early age.
Okay.
And she always told me to keep me a string with me. That's all I'm gonna say. A little shoelace, and she taught me the pressure point.
Okay.
So I was dropping them. Now don't be wrong, I got my ass beat a couple times, but in general I was dropping them.
Okay, so listen, let's go from that. You at Dillard, you in New Orleans. I don't know if anybody ever been to New Orleans because they do say New Orleans.
It's hot,
but it's 100 degrees and the humidity is 100 degrees, and every hole on your body got some form of moisture coming out of it. and every corner got something fat and good to eat on it, and people be navigating and walking around like it ain't that hot. And I be like, hey y'all, my booty sweating. I'm finna go back to the hotel. So you get to college.
Yeah.
You become a social worker.
I get to college. I get through college. Then I come home after my 4 years.
Okay.
And I become a social worker with the Children's Center, which is here in Detroit.
Absolutely.
And my aunt was working there, and that was my first out of college.
That's on Alexandria.
Yeah, Alexandria.
Yep.
Yep. I was a foster care worker.
Okay.
For a private agency. I did that for 3 years, and then I went to work for the state of Michigan.
So how did you go from let's help your situation and you know, get these kids taken care of and helping the babies to on stage, and it's basically being a comedian, you were still a social worker?
No, absolutely. I think that first off, if I wouldn't have been, and I don't want to say if I would not have, I think that my path was designed for that, because the person who introduced me to comedy was one of my coworkers that was also a social worker, Monique King.
Okay.
So that's how I ever even started doing an open mic or anything.
Wow,
Was that she invited me to do an open mic.
So first time going on stage, when you said, okay, I'm gonna go on stage, I'm gonna do this was gonna go on, what did you think? How did you feel that day when you committed to doing it? What was going on in your head? First of all, Lavish and Coco podcast, make sure you like us, share us, and all that stuff. We talking to T BARB, originally from Detroit, Michigan, from Joy Road and all of that stuff. We're going to provide you with all of her information. You could go to T BARB Comedy, Retired Hood Rat, and all that stuff to get the information. She just giving us a backstory. She giving us she got a single coming out, Scoochie on Your Coochie.
Scoochie on the Coochie.
Scoochie on the Coochie. On the Coochie. Scoochie,
on the Coochie.
Scoochie on the Coochie.
Yeah.
Retired Hood Rat. She's an author and all that stuff. But we talking about her making this transition from being a social worker to being a comedian, her very first time on stage. How did you prepare for that?
So what happened was I had just had a real bad incident happen like a month before, and I also had just like broke up with my boyfriend. So that'll do it. So when she introduced me, it was like an aspiration of mine. And you know how like sometimes you can be around people and you'll share your dream. That's why I tell people, be careful who you share your dream with.
No, absolutely.
Because you can share your dream and then
you got some dream crushers.
They shit on it.
Yes.
You
Right.
know what I'm saying? They shitting on it. So that's what had happened. So I stopped being around those people, and was this opportunity was introduced.
Okay.
And you know, my coworkers were like, you go for it. You know, we're gonna come and everybody's gonna come. So I invited everybody. I was nervous. I was told to prepare 3 minutes of material that would seem like a long time. And I was just like, I'm gonna do this. Something in my mind was like, just do it. And I did it. And you see how much I talk. So I packed like 27 minutes worth of shit into 3 minutes. Like it was like, and I was going, and they were laughing, and I was like, and I came right down. I ain't waiting on her. She was like, you could have kept going. At this time, I ain't know. I was like, you said 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So in my mind, I'm timing this shit.
Right.
And they was going crazy, and I was like, boom. But when it's something you meant to do, God puts things in your way.
Provision.
So my banker's sister was a comedian.
Really?
And I told her about it before, so she invited her sister.
Okay.
Her sister then invited me to another open mic from that open mic.
Okay.
Then introduced me to Kool-Aid.
Okay.
And Monday, that was my 3rd time.
Wow.
Luckily, I was looking cute. I didn't know that Kool-Aid was a hoe like that. Like, excuse my language. You know, I
Rest in
love
peace to
him. That's
Kool-Aid.
my mentor. I wouldn't be here. I'm telling you, I love him to death. But I didn't know he was a host, so that's probably the only reason I got on stage, because I was looking real cute. Like,
You was cute.
I came in there, little booty short, long braids. I'm like, can I get on stage? You know, and he like, oh, we'll see. I'm like, okay.
Oh,
he like,
man.
you next. Some people doing bad. I'm like, okay. They say that never happened there. Like, you have to come and hang around.
But
around.
the favor of God and you being a woman put you in the right position.
Amen.
So you went on stage, And I know where you was at, and I know that audience on the Monday night at Baker's. We was at Baker's.
Yes.
Ooh, that audience.
Shout out to Baker's.
That audience will make you walk off stage and go do a whole new resume if it wasn't right.
If
You
it
know
wasn't.
they will.
They were not playing, and what helped me was I had a heckler. So it was like
okay.
I was doing okay. getting
Now
a few
tell people
chuckles.
what a heckler is, because they don't. A lot of people don't know what a heckler is.
A heckler is a person who talks to the comedian on stage. And sometimes, because you're really heckling if you talk, period. But sometimes they can be, they say mean things. They holler stuff out on the stage. They talk during the set.
They just
That's a heckler.
interrupting everything
Yes.
that you got going on.
Yes.
And don't realize it. So I had a heckler. So it was a few chuckles, but it was this guy who was drunk as hell. And I never forget this because I broke it to him like, hey, you. Sit the fuck down. I'm not a professional. I'm new to this. I can't handle that. I was like, not today. The next person. Not me. I can't handle it. And then the crowd went crazy.
Wow.
And I was able to get a few more little things in, and I got the fuck off.
So was that like when the crowd got into it, was that like an energy boost for you at that point in time? Knowing you were being heckled, but then seeing the reaction from the crowd once you said that, did that kind of like, oh, okay.
Hell
It
yeah,
boosts
it
the energy.
loosen you up. It loosen you up because it makes you feel like, okay, I got him on my side.
Okay.
And like I said, one thing about Detroit is they love improv. We love improv. You can have jokes all day. They want you to say something about somebody, and even if it's a little something, they want to hear on the spot funny.
Yeah. I was just telling Coco about that last week about being at her place and me coming down there. One of the reasons why I never did like going to comedy clubs. And then when I had went down to a comedy club, having someone talk about the crowd, or talk to someone in the crowd, I don't like that. I like it when they laughing at everybody else,
But not you.
just not me.
See, and so it's two
But
things.
it's funny though. It's funny.
But nowadays it get your wig peeled.
Yeah.
When you learn to deal with a heckler, and it's sort of like a Muhammad Ali kind of thing. You got to understand, you might get two good jabs, get them up off of you, got to keep moving. But there are people that feel like they helping what you doing by heckling you. They're like, yeah, I went to the show and T BARB was on stage and I was just doing. No, you're being an asshole.
Right.
I owe you $5.
Right.
You was being a butthole because that doesn't help the show. And there are other people around you that have spent money that don't want to hear you. So people come and they want to be a heckler, and then when you say something real, because I'm an old person. So when no, but I'm talking about in terms of what I do. So if you heckling me, I'm gonna say something that's gonna shut down the rest of your evening. You gonna get up and probably be laying up under a car when I come outside. I ain't gonna be like, no.
You going hard on the guy.
I'm coming off the turnbuckle.
You gonna focus on him for a good 2-3 minutes?
No.
No?
Oh, I got a clip. I got a when I squeeze, 4 of them jumping out. They coming out. I have no control. You gonna hear that? And it's over. You said ba ba bow.
Listen, that's how you know they shoot not like we still like bang, bang.
But it's funny. I've had more women heckle me than men.
Okay.
I've had women say some of the craziest stuff to me. And we ain't talking about me. I had some skinny girls. When Monique came out with her book about skinny women are evil, her and I had like a similar joke about skinny women. And I was at the comedy club, and these 3 little skinny girls that looked like Barbie dolls held me up in the bathroom.
Dang.
They did. They did. I was downtown at B's Comedy Kitchen in Detroit, and they walked in there. Yeah, we heard what your fat ass said. And I just kept washing my hands. And this is how you know somebody got a problem. They were standing behind me talking, and I had already figured out I'm going to take the one out by the door, by the hand dryer. What?
You had to play.
See, listen, the same family that raised T BARB,
Yeah.
I grew up with them. So,
wow.
Baby girl by the door, I was going to take her, hit her face on the hand dryer. I already knew how.
What?
I'm going home. My brother's sitting over there. We can't get him on camera, but I'm going home. I got something to do. So I had figured I kept washing my hands, And then when I finished washing my hands, I walked over to the dryer and hit the thing, and I'm getting my hands dry, and they still talking. And I said, okay, you need your hands good and dry because you don't want them to slip when you yoke this hoe up. And they kept talking and kept talking, and she stepped to me, and by the time she figured out what was going on, she was under the sink.
Coco, you done put hands on somebody?
So anyway,
why would she let them strike first?
Goodness gracious,
The
Coco.
writing was on the wall. The
Listen,
writing was on the wall.
If you know anything about the art of war, conflict, or any of that, if you trying to get to somebody and they still calm and they ain't changed their posture or nothing like that, the average person would see that as I need to retreat. So they kept talking, and she was under the sink, and I went on back to my seat.
And she was under the sink.
Add that. That's part 2 of the coochie on the coochie.
She was under the sink.
So I get it. So from fast forward to going to college with $400, you got a ride to Memphis, caught the Greyhound from Memphis to New Orleans. $400. You had a pack of cigarettes. Couple packs of cigarettes.
I had a couple Nick bags.
Yeah.
Back in the day, you could get a Nick.
You had a couple Nick bags.
Yeah. I had got 5 for 20.
Yeah. So you had all of that stuff. So you went through that experience.
Yeah.
Finished college, came back here, became a social worker, got your master's degree, worked for a couple, 2-3 years. For the state and for different agencies. So
14 years.
14 years. So who is T Barb today? Y'all listen to Lavish and Coco podcast. Make sure you like it and share it and all of those things. We are right now we in Detroit, Michigan, and we really are at a car wash because we change our location from time to time. If you have a business and you want to advertise and all that stuff, you can reach out to Lavish T Williams. The T is for tolerate today.
Tolerate.
But I got that. We had the Lavish car wash, but for the people, what I was over here doing, I was getting a flyer together for the pop-up.
Thank you.
And I'm gonna put it on the screen.
I love you.
For everybody to see it right there. T Barb, we had to cut you out real quick.
I see.
But
okay.
you're gonna be all right.
It's all right. This is my time.
but anybody that's out there that want to know about the pop-up is right here. I couldn't drop it in the comment box while I was live, but I put it on the screen for each and everybody that's interested in this pop-up shop. Y'all can see it right there on the screen.
You amazing. You a special Mr. Lavish. You so special. And so, T Barb, who are you today? Who is T Barb today?
I'm a mom, a comedian, an entrepreneur.
Okay.
I am a philanthropist. I have a nonprofit, T Barb and Friends, and we feed the homeless, and we do we try to do like more impacts in one event, meaning that we buy the food from Black-owned restaurants and then give it prepackaged and then give it to the homeless every year. We also had a partnership this year with Al Keebalan Village where we did their summer mentorship program. The mental health, one of our board members is a mental health therapist, Ms. Fluellen, who has been great, one of my partners too. So I have the home health business, which is the Loving in Our Purpose. So if you have Medicaid and you want somebody in your family to provide care for you, which is my last job with the state, you can call us and we'll help you, assist you with that. 1-800-975-5812. And really just a comedian, a creator, a content creator. I love TikTok. Comedian T Barb, Instagram, I am T Barb. I mean, I'm just me, like, cause I remember I was working with this guy and he was like, "You can't do all that. It's confusing people." I be confused. So if I'm gonna be confused, why I'm gonna make it easy on y'all? Like, I don't know. I'm just doing a lot of shit, but always gonna be doing a show.
And you gotta check her out on social media because she does this only in Detroit. And I don't know, cause I've said, so a couple weeks ago was a Sunday before the weather got cold. In between Detroit and East Point, Michigan, it was a young lady who obviously was she was in crisis. She was definitely in mental health crisis. Let's just call that. And we're not making fun of the situation at all, because I am a person that is in long-term counseling. But the young lady was running, and then she tore her headpiece off and was running, and the officer could not catch her.
Oh, I think it was on grass. And she was nude.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that.
So when I saw the young lady walking, I reached out to T BARB because the same level of confidence that woman had in whatever she was and whatever was going on, that's how T BARB walk on stage.
Oh, really?
You walk on stage like, I don't care what is happening, I'm finna get him this heat. And that sister, and if y'all find out how she doing or whatever, where she is, please let us know. But that's the same level of confidence you walk on stage with all the time.
Thank you. I never really noticed that. I think that I just fake it till you make it. I know. I think I love comedy so much. I just feel like I've always been so goofy, and it just gives me a way to be goofy. It's no fun being the goofy, bitch at the law firm. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It is fun, but it's probably not as fun as being the goofy girl.
Now, let me ask you this. You being a parent, a mother, and a comedian, how is your comic life and parenting? How does that go hand in hand?
My work-life balance?
Yeah. And how do your kids see you as, this is my mom, but everyone else sees you as the funny lady?
As T BARB? I think, first off, I have one son. My son is we like best friends. So, although I am like stern as far as school, or maybe not that stern because his grades ain't all that right now, but I let him be very creative, and I try to make him a part of the process as much as possible. So, if there's a show, believe it or not, that he can go to, I bring him. Sometimes with the skits, we may do some skits together or rap together. He plays the guitar, so I embrace that. I get him private lessons. He wanted to play the flute. We worked on, I just let him explore who he wants to be, and he definitely knows there's a difference. I've seen him do I've not seen him. I've had him as a production assistant on some of my productions, and I make him a part of the process. I want to be able to pass a legacy to my son. So I feel like all the other cultures do it. So my son sell hot dogs and everything. I don't care. He don't work.
I love your son. His energy, his passion. I'd have been on the phone in his conversations, and he is just an amazing young man, and you've done a wonderful job.
Thank you.
Okay.
I love him.
So we got a couple questions right here. We got Dion Regan Ill. He asked 2 questions. One of them is, how can he book you? How do you go about booking? And then the second question is, do you do any clean comedy?
Yes, I do clean comedy. Let me look it up. I'm actually at a church on October 30th. So I do clean comedy. And I'm very funny, clean.
She is. Listen. So let me take over as your, so listen. She's a professional comedian. She could do corporate. She could do clean. She could do whatever it calls for, and she does it very, very, very well. So, and to the gentleman that is interested in booking her, don't call her if you ain't got your date confirmed. Don't call her if you talking about, I'm going to throw you a couple dollars. If you not finna be professional and you really got a budget, a venue, and all of that, and I'm saying this, I don't know you, sir, so don't take any of this personal, but this is from a professional standpoint, then don't call her.
So it's tbarbentertainment@gmail.com. Can you drop it in the comments?
Okay,
that's my email. That's probably my preferred message. Give me like 24 hours because that's how you book me. Yes. tbarbentertainment@gmail.com. Like Coco said, you heard the queen. Have your information together. If you want to follow me just to see some of my content or maybe leave me a DM, it's I am T BARB on Instagram. I am T BARB. I just found out on TikTok you can't leave me a DM. It's comedian T BARB on TikTok. And make sure you follow Only in Detroit. So I've been doing the Only in Detroit skits, and like you were saying, it's been funny. So that's the only reason I didn't do the young lady.
Right.
Even though I felt like she got faster because that wig was so tagged. You know how you put too much product on the wig, so it was heavy. She lifted that boy up. That was like an anchor on her. She
chopping, yes.
She was gone. That's why she was so strong, because her body been weighted down. But overall, first off, I didn't want to get banned with the nudity thing, but then I was just like, it's funny to me, but I didn't want to. It may trigger somebody else. So I try, even though you're gonna offend somebody,
right? Yeah. Somebody's gonna be offended.
Somebody's gonna be pissed off, but I try, not to be as offensive if I can.
Well, we thank you. Make sure y'all follow Lavish and Coco, follow T Barb, and all of those wonderful, wonderful, wonderful things. Amazing stuff going on. T Barb got some amazing stuff going on. She is, and let me say this. So, a couple months ago, we did a show at this club in Ypsilanti, right? And we was on the same page, because when you get somewhere to do a show, the longest you want to wait is 30 minutes. I'm going to leave that right there. So we was sitting in the back, and we was watching everything going on. And there's not a lot of comedians that when they go on stage and work, I get squirrely in my seat. But the crowd was high energy. The crowd they was having, man, you hit that 454 in the lottery. It was a lot of stuff going on. And when T Barb went on stage, she just snatched their soul, right? So, no, for real.
You did it like that, huh?
Listen, snatched their entire soul. And I'm headlining, so I got to follow her. I wouldn't even say headline. I had to follow her because we was doing the same amount of time. So I'm sitting there and I'm sitting there talking to my brother. And when she went on stage, I went from leaning up like this to sitting back like, hold on, wait a minute. Shit.
Okay. So listen, Coco.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna have to
I
end
owe
the
you
show.
$7.
No, we're gonna have to cut the show down. At least we're gonna have to lease it because of time. And one thing I want you to be mindful. I want you to be mindful, Coco. We only got an hour, and we want to give the people an hour. We don't want to go over the time.
Listen.
We cutting into the time right now, Coco. You cutting into the time right now.
October 19th, Detroit House Comedy. Come see me tomorrow night, 7:30. Detroit House Comedy. October 24th, T Barb live at the Independent. Thank y'all so much.
You
I'm
welcome.
done with the time.
Lavish, you did it.
We did it, man.
I'm so proud of you.
Correct. And I want to thank everybody that chimed in, that's watching, that commented. James Franklin, D, Louis, D'Amica. We got Curly from last week that commented. He chimed in.
You,
Maria
Curly.
Spencer, we on here. We got Izzy Nikki on here. Rocky Harris, Alvin Brewer, Shooter.
Oh, you just told me to shut up, and now you're doing
I'm ending it. We got Scott Coleman. We got Y Mac on here, so we're going to go ahead and end this. But I wanted to acknowledge everybody that was out there watching this, and hope to see you next week. And Coco, I ain't trying to hear none of that stuff you talking.